Welcome to episode 30 of Bros Park. You're welcome by yours truly, Jeffrey, and
Colin, as always, welcome to the park.
yes, it is another BEA
Beautiful day.
in the park. Today, what we're going to do is Colin, take it away.
Fuck, I was mid-sip. Okay. Fucking goddamn, dude.
Keep you on your toes, man. I gotta keep him on his toes.
Today, we're going through anime hot takes. We decided this was, episode 30. We've been moving down the anime path. We wanted to figure out some hot takes that we may or may not agree with. We didn't come up with these.
Yeah, we've scoured.
Scoured. Yes, scoured.
Scoured?
Yeah.
Is that the word?
We scoured the internet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We searched through the internet.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
To find some pretty controversial hot takes.
Yeah, and we may agree with some of them, so they might not be that controversial for us, but there's a lot of discourse under every single one of these questions that people are pretty heated about. The anime community is pretty one-sided or the other. It's very binary.
I think with any type of show, when it's related to a show, people will have opinions. Some of them can be pretty, intense.
Very strong
over
opinions.
Others.
Yeah. And you usually hear both sides. Because I was thinking, I was like, wow, other fandoms aren't really like this, right? Like, think of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones came out, and I think unanimously, everybody's like, wow, this is so good until, and
everybody loved it, and then everybody hated it.
Exactly. It becomes like season 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there, people are like, oh, it became not as good. And that's unanimous.
Yeah,
Everybody says that.
You know what's crazy? I've always wanted to watch Game of Thrones, but because I heard how, shit it becomes, I'm like, maybe I don't want to watch it.
I watched it. I didn't mind it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not too strongly opposed to the ending of it. I think that it could have been. We're getting deep into Game of Thrones, but I think it could have been better. But I also don't think it was bad. I don't think it was not worth watching.
It's just because I'm like, do I want to divert my time and attention to a show that I know is gonna just shit the landing?
Like it was so good on the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you got limited amount of time, and you need to be watching anime anyways. So. No time for Game of Thrones.
That's true. Let's just jump into it.
All right, let's jump into some of these hot takes. All right. To start off, we got a banger one. For a new watcher, One Piece is not worth getting into.
Yeah, true.
You think so? You agree?
True. I think it depends.
Okay. All right.
Are you 8?
Are you young?
Are you between the ages of 8 and 12?
Okay.
If so, then you know what? I'd say One Piece is a good anime to get into.
Okay, but anything out of that age range, you'd be like, no, that's not worth
because for me, One Piece is because I've watched it a little bit until Thriller Bark.
Mm-hmm.
It's very kind of slow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The old anime word.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's a lot of better ones out there.
I think. Yes, there are. Better stories is gonna bring up a lot. There's
better.
A lot of people.
I agree. There's better stories in a shorter amount of time than One Piece.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I myself haven't even watched all of One Piece, because just there's 1,000 episodes, man.
Yeah, there's over 1,000 episodes, which makes it hard, and that's the main point that people are talking about. Man. They're like, it's not worth it for that many episodes.
It's kind of like myself in Game of Thrones. I'm like, how many seasons? 7?
Of
8?
Game of Thrones?
12?
Of Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.
Jesus Christ, man. Are they 1 hour episodes too?
Yeah, anywhere between 50 to an hour. So.
Yeah. But it's just so big, so much, and I hear there's a lot of filler episodes too.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I don't want to deal with that.
So that's what I was gonna just bring up, where I think if you are a person that needs to watch every single episode that is released around that production, so for example One Piece, exactly, you watch every episode of the 1,100 or 1,200 episodes, I would agree with the statement then. I don't think that it's worth it. But there is more and more things coming out around the One Piece or whatever it is, where people have cut all the filler episodes.
Oh yeah.
And they give you just main storyline and important shit. And they're like, oh, now it's only 500 episodes.
500 episodes.
Which, like,
damn,
is definitely more digestible than like 1200.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if you were to give me that and say, hey, as a new watcher, would this be worth it? I would then hover on the line of being like, you know, it's worth it. It is a piece of history. Like,
Okay,
it is fucking good. Enough. The animation gets spectacular. Like, it shows you where we came from to like where we are now.
Yeah, yeah.
I think in that way, I'd be like, it's worth it.
So do you think that a new watcher who's never seen anime before just should watch One Piece right off the bat?
Right off the bat, no. 100% not. Right off the bat, that should not be your
that's
first
the question,
one.
right? Newcomers, right?
I think it's saying a new watcher as in somebody who's never watched One Piece before. Not somebody who's never watched anime before.
Oh, dude, I thought it's for someone who hasn't watched anime before.
If it's somebody who's never watched anime before, don't watch One Piece right away. like, let's get that out of the way. If it's that interpretation, 100%, no.
Yeah, but if it's a new watcher, you're like, well, you're never gonna get into One Piece at this point.
And that's my point is, I don't think even if you are an anime fan and you've never watched One Piece, you shouldn't watch all of One Piece and chalk that up because you're never going to watch anything else.
True.
So you might as well just watch not the abridged, but like the condensed version.
Yeah.
Into just the canon stuff, and that being your important one. That's where I would go with it.
Okay, for a newcomer to anime, is there like a show that you would recommend them to watch? That should, like, dip their stinky toe into anime.
Their stinky toes, depending on genre that they like, which obviously is up to the subjective. I would probably go with everybody's favorite, just FMA Brotherhood.
FMA, yeah, fair enough. That's a good choice.
Yeah, it's just easy. It's a digestible. It's a good story, good animation.
Yeah, it has everything, actually.
Yeah.
I think for me, another contender is Death Note. Not the live action one.
Okay.
Not the movie either.
As a new watcher, you think like brand new to anime?
Yeah, I think Death Note ticks all the boxes.
Okay. I don't know if I would put it up there, but sure, yeah.
Yeah.
What boxes are we ticking?
Because it gets you thinking. Animation is good. Story is good. Character is good. Music's good. There's intense and hype parts. There's like, oh shit, I didn't expect that to happen. Parts. Sure. I think like it's a good way to be like, whoa, anime is a lot more deep than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can see where you're coming. I think for me, it just is a bit dark, I think.
Yeah.
For if I was suggesting to somebody that's never watched any anime.
Like your 60-year-old grandma?
Yeah, or a kid. I'm like,
Well, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, use your discretion.
Okay, yeah. You up to discretion, but if you're new to anime, FMA Brotherhood or Death Note.
Or just a random Gooner one.
Which brings us to our next point, actually. Which this argument has been coming up more and more, seemingly. And there's people that are vehemently against it and people that agree with it. Which is, just because it is Gooner doesn't mean it's automatically bad. Ooh. I would agree with that statement. I think that there are Gooner anime out there that, I guess, like, first and foremost, we were in high school once. Sometimes you want a Gooner anime when you're young. That just is what it is.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
an
you got that itch, man. You got
circumstance.
that itch.
But it is what it is. And then two, I think when you can, I guess, remove some of the Gooner shit, it's got a good story. It's got a good plot, good characters. Like, it's still there. The action's good. The animation's good. Whatever it is. And
the
like,
fan service is good.
Okay, well, fucking yeah. But like the Gooner shit, I think does go over the top a lot of times, and it can take away from certain things. But I don't think because it has Gooner shit, it's automatically bad.
But the Gooner stuff is like there to draw people in.
Of course,
it gets you hooked.
Yeah, it's the first thing you see a thumbnail with some tickle bitties, and you're like, oh shit, Damn,
I gotta watch that now.
Exactly. So,
do you have any like examples of like Gooner anime that's like still pretty good?
No, because I've never watched any Gooner anime.
Fair enough.
What about
Fair enough. This
you?
guy.
You got lots of examples, don't you?
I don't. I have none. I'm just kidding. No Game, No Life is a good example.
Yeah, No Game No Life is a good example for me as to a good anime. Like 100% it's Gunner shit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Like
so much of it that's like it's like, guys, whoa.
the word association game with Jabril.
Yeah. It's like yo, chill, guys. Damn.
Yeah,
I'm only here for the games, man.
and that to me is. It depends on your definition of Gunner as well, because you could take like Code Geass, where we were talking about, where like, did we need the scene of like Colin showering? Did we need the scene of like Colin naked on the island when they get teleported there? Probably not.
No.
Would you say that's a Gunner anime though? Probably not.
Yeah.
Right?
It just for some reason the animes were like, you know what? We need this.
Yeah, we're just gonna
we need this
slide
in the show.
that in
We
there.
need it in the show for some reason.
And do I think it's necessary? No, I don't think so at all. Does it draw in a certain audience base? Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And does it pump the views for that? Yeah. Do you also lose views on the other side? Probably as well. I don't think it's automatically bad.
Another example I would say is not so much, but still
Okay.
Dragon Maid.
Kobayashi Dragon
Maid.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I
think
think
so.
I think the story in that is amazing. It's a
Mhm.
great anime, but there's some like
It's definitely some Gunner shit.
the fact that like, you know, when there's a bounce, they have an exact sound effect for it. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty gooner.
Another one is like,
Yo, you got an example now?
yeah, I was thinking about it. I've actually, more seriously, I've never actually watched this one, but I know you watched a little bit of it. I didn't know if you finished it, which is Shogugeki no Soma. Shogugeki no Soma.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Food Wars is Gunner. Like, there's no way it's not.
Yep. The food orgasmos.
Yeah, but if you like cooking and you like the food and everything, I think it's still good. Like,
Dude, I liked it. I liked the first 2 seasons, and then I started reading the manga, and holy shit, that thing dropped off a cliff.
really? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I read it out of hate, because I was like,
You just need to know where it goes.
I was like, I'm already this committed. I need to finish the manga.
Yeah.
God damn, it was such a train wreck. In the
All
end.
right.
I was so mad.
It's a good note to have.
Yeah.
But I like you said, like I think you enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I think it still can be good even when it is Gunner.
Yep.
And you know, I think there are definitely Gunner ones that are bad, but I don't think it's automatically bad.
Oh yeah,
That's the main thing.
which one of the bad ones, Colin?
From what I've heard online in the online discourse,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
from what you
watched
heard?
my own personal like High School of the Dead, High School DxD, anything with like high school in its fucking front like 2 words,
Okay,
and it's Gunner is probably not great.
Fair enough.
But I do think that it doesn't. Yeah, it's not automatically bad. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I agree.
All right, let's get some more general ones out of the way. Okay.
General ones.
This one is an interesting one. I think we can both agree to this one, to be honest, which is
It's not controversial then. We both agree.
yeah, but I mean we both agreed on
Yeah.
a lot of this. Dub can be better than sub,
Ooh.
and I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think a prime example for me is Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, dude. I grew up with the dub.
Yeah,
Switching over to the sub because I was watching Dragon Ball Super.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was hard.
And this is nothing against the Japanese voice actors or the English voice actors, depending on which side of the argument you're on. There's goats on both sides.
Yeah.
That being said, there are some dub performances and voice actors that just fucking kill it. Like,
True.
They just do so well. with
Yep.
it.
Yep. Definitely.
And I think, Dragon Ball Z for me is a big one.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. It does not help when for the sub, all the guys in Goku's family are voiced by the same person,
Yeah, I mean, it shows
which is
range,
like an old lady.
but it's not like
It's not
what
really
I
range.
wanna
They all
hear.
sound the exact same.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other ones that I like the dub for more than the sub. That isn't just nostalgia. That's the main thing. It's because I was gonna put Bleach up there, but I think Bleach is like a nostalgia thing for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, because you grew up watching it.
Because
the
I
dub
grew up
first.
for it. Yeah.
For me, well, FMA. I think the dub is way better than the sub.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that actually.
Another one would be I'm trying to think. Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've watched both on Cowboy Bebop.
The problem about dub anime is that like you need like a good cast that are like are actually like 100% behind the project.
Yeah, 100%.
If not, you just get some shitty ass dub like Ghost Stories. For those of you who don't know,
dude, shut the fuck
look up YouTube Ghost Stories dub.
Dude, there's so much shit in that. And you know what? Honestly, I think Ghost Stories is a better dub than sub. Like,
That's true. That's true. That's
that
true.
shit was so fucking funny. Was it good critically? No. Was it funny as shit?
It was
yes.
pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
So yeah, I think we can both agree that some dubs are better. It can be better than some.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
All right, next up, we kind of touched on this, but we'll kind of delve a bit further into it, which is specifically fan service is holding the anime medium back. And if we're looking at just that statement, I would, again, it's one of those I agree and disagree.
Yeah, I would say so. Like I agree to I would agree to that. I would agree to that. Like when you think about like your Western live action shows, if you see like, you know, House or NCIS or like those crime investigation ones.
Yeah.
The main female protagonist is not in a goddamn bikini.
Sure. Yeah. 100%.
Tits out.
100%. I wonder what it means by holding back, because to me that means, like, I read it as not being as popular, like globally, right?
Or I read it, I think of it as like people would look down on it because it's like, that's just straight kid gooner shit.
Yeah. And in that way, I agree with you. In terms of popularity, I don't know if you would gain more audience versus how much you would lose from not having fan service.
I think you would gain more, but at the same time, you're not taken as seriously.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, you would gain more with fan service?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say so.
So you think there's more on the fan service side? Maybe.
Yeah, I would say fan service brings people in.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then when you like, well, when you have like a waifu, people want to see more of that.
That wife, yeah,
but
best
then again,
girl thing.
But then again, as a medium in general, like people are like, what the fuck, waifu? That's freaking creepy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
I think we've slowly gotten over the hurdle, but we're still working on it. Animated stuff is for kids. So I think that's the first hurdle. Once we're over that fully and we have a like bigger audience, I think at that point we can address the fact that there's so much fan service. If we're talking purely in terms of the popularity.
Yeah.
I think part of the thing that holds back the medium is it's animated, and people, especially in the West and other parts of the world, are like, oh, that's for kids.
Yep, that's a cartoon.
And that's not the case anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like fan service comes after that, where it's like, hey, we don't need to do that. But also there's like fucking some fan service in like, I'm trying to think back, like, you're going to tell me that Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow wasn't unnecessarily sexual?
Well, I think Black Widow as a character herself is sexualized.
Okay, so then can't you make that argument for a lot of these fucking anime characters then?
True, but I think but I think like for Black Widow, like that's part of her like job.
Okay,
to seduce and everything.
Yeah.
But for this random high school.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, in that part, I'm just thinking of like, okay, like, have you watched A Comic Get Kill?
No.
Okay.
But I know of it.
Okay.
I've seen the like costumes,
cosplays and stuff. Yeah. I'm thinking of like As Death. Like As Death is like a fucking hard in general and shit like that and whatever.
Oh,
else.
I'm thinking about Kill la Kill.
Oh, you're thinking Kill la Kill. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
As Death
is like, she's like a hard in general and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden she like falls for this like sweet soft little boy in her eyes and shit like that, and then she like gets to be more sexual like through that, right?
Oh.
And it's kind of like, okay, like I guess like if you're into him, like you would want to move in that direction type vibe. It's the same thing as Black Widow, where it's like that's part of the character, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Do I think every character needs it? Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah,
like we're not talking about that shit.
Like I think a main culprit for me is like that. I watched Fire Force season 1.
Okay.
That the cat girl.
Mm-hmm.
Holy goddamn! Like that's her entire character.
Yeah, that's true. And like
it got to the point where I'm like, dude, stop, man.
Yeah.
Just
Just
stop.
stop. Just stop. Get help.
Like, what are you guys doing? Stop doing this, man.
Well, it's like in the Sword Art movie. I think Leafa comes through the portal, and then like Yui, the like AI daughter,
Yeah.
like comes out of her fucking cleavage.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, it's a pretty good movie. But like that scene, I'm like, did that have to happen? Did you have to have her coming out of the cleavage? Probably fucking not.
True.
Like, same thing with like 7 Deadly Sins. Did you need Elizabeth in between Deanne's tits for like the fighting festival? No, fucking like what? You didn't need that shit. I don't think that's part of every character, like you said. But like, I think there are characters like Black Widow, for example, that it is part of their character.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I think.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, I think it helps, but at the same time, it does hold it back. Like, I do agree with that.
Okay. I think overall, I would say popularity-wise, it probably doesn't hold it back, but I do think that like garnering a wider audience, it does. All right. Now, anime fans gatekeep. So, for example, oh, you like SAO? Like, you're not an actual anime fan. Like, that's fucking shit. That's a bad anime.
Yeah, your tastes are trash.
100%. I think that's true.
Yeah, that's when you get into like
100%.
the hardcore fans.
Yeah, that's like the sweaty fan base.
Who think they're better. Like you like that one?
Yeah.
You suck. You taste shit.
Not an anime hot take. I think people have kind of accepted this. My Hero Academia fans are the worst. Like, if they're like the true hardcore fans, not like, oh, I like the anime. They're just the sweatiest fan group.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know why. It just came about with that community. But yeah, I think we can both agree that
mods.
I think we can both agree that anime fans gatekeep too much. You can like what you like. You can go enjoy what you like, and that's fine.
True.
Right? It's like fucking gamers being like, oh, you play mobile games? You're not an actual gamer. It's like,
yeah,
shut the fuck up.
I don't really understand that part, man.
No.
Just like, hey, everyone has their own like opinions and likes. Why do you gotta shit on other people's shit?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Dog, shouldn't we be spreading the gospel of anime?
Yeah,
you know, but fucking
unless they like Boku no Pico, then I'll look down on them.
Yeah, and then it's like, hey, that's kind of fucking fucked up. I was just gonna say weird. I'm like, that's not a strong enough word in that situation.
I remember funny thing that happened in university for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had I wouldn't even consider him a friend. There's someone I knew from class.
Okay.
And he's like, hey man, like what anime should I watch? I'm like, why don't you try watching Boku no Pico?
Yeah, it was the old joke where it's like, hey, you should go watch Boku no Pico.
Just to fuck with him, right? Yeah. And then, 5 minutes later, I get a text from him saying like, dude, what the fuck, man? What happened was he actually looked it up on his laptop in the middle of a lecture.
Of course you do.
And then it's like showed like a scene or a picture.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh fuck. And then he heard someone behind him go like
so like light gas.
So he's like, he never trusted me again. I was like, ooh.
Dude, it was for us, that was the one, but for Bible Black.
Oh my god.
Oh hey, what anime you should check out Bible Black. Yeah, there's like 3 seasons of it or something. Like, yeah, let's check it out. And they're like, dude, fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was a good old days.
Yep. I love that shit.
All right.
What was the question again?
There wasn't a question. We hadn't posed one yet. Which is crazy.
I just went off a tangent.
Yeah. All right. So you know how as we talked about earlier, there's like best girls and waifus and shit like that and like different character tropes.
Yep.
Dude, chill. This comes down to what character tropes you like and dislike. This one says tsunderes are the worst characters in anime. And do you know what a tsundere is?
Yep. It's like, I don't like you. It's like,
yeah,
but
baka. they're the girls that are mean to you because they like you. They're like the epitome of the guys pulling your ponytails because they like you in elementary school, and then they like have like a gleam of like emotion and liking this person. Like, I didn't make these sandwiches for you, baka. And then they're like, oh, but these sandwiches are so good, and they're like, oh, really? well, whatever. Maybe if you're good, I'll
It's
make
not
you
that I
more.
like you or anything. No. I think I know because I watched anime a decent amount.
Yeah. Oh,
They
did you?
they
Yeah.
always say Betsuni. That's like their go-to thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know Japanese, but I just know what
Betsuni
is.
and
Like,
Baka.
it's like not that I.
Yeah. It's fucking so stupid. Anyways, they're saying that it's the worst character.
Nah, man, I love Cinderella's. They're fucking
So-
awesome.
That's funny because this leads to the next point of the
I
statement,
love it.
which is that tsunderes just embody and portray the like otaku's fantasy because they're like getting rejected, but like it's not actually a rejection, and
Oh,
it embodies like what they
true.
want.
True.
And
Or
I
it just embodies that. Oh, someone actually likes me.
Yeah, exactly. I've thought about it. I don't think they're the worst character trope. I think they're fine. Like they're just a character trope. In anime, I don't mind them. Holy shit, if I met one in real life, fuck off.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's some grade school shit.
like
But like I think tsuneres, they can be done well, and they can be done not well.
okay, do you have an example? Yeah.
I don't really have an example of like one not done well, just because it doesn't come to mind.
Oh yeah, so they're all done well for you, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
One done well.
Mhm. For me, while you think of yours, I didn't mind Rin Tosaka from the Fate series. She was not the strongest portrayal of a tsundere, but she definitely was still.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, this isn't horrific. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't too bad. It's not like in your face all the time, get shit on and stepped on type vibe. But like, it was still there. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is fine. I don't have too much issue with this.
I actually have an example of a good one.
Okay.
Asuka Langley from Neon. I'm just kidding. No, she was a bad one. She sucked. She
Yeah,
sucked.
she's fucking awful.
She was a bad one.
Yeah,
A good one would be from Clanad, the one of the twins, the Kyo.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. If you know what I'm saying.
Interesting.
If you know what I'm saying.
You
If you
enjoyed
understand
that
it.
one.
If you understand it.
Okay. All
You
right.
get it. You get it.
What made them good versus like you haven't come up with a bad one yet. So what made them good versus what you would assume a bad one is?
Cute.
All right, Jeffrey's goodness scale is attractive.
But at the same time, it's not like they do it all the time, and it doesn't define their whole character.
yeah, I think that's the main thing is if it's too in your face, it's like
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can take a step back here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I disagree with the general plot.
There needs
but
to be more depth to it.
yeah.
That's what makes a good one.
All right, we're gonna get into some specific anime hot takes now.
Ooh.
Right. First and foremost, Goku was a bad father. I agree.
Yeah, dude, the guy was a deadbeat, man.
He didn't do anything. He saved the world. What did that have to do with raising your children?
I guess the counterpoint, dude was like dead half the time,
He was dead half the time. This is true.
but at the same time,
But he also came back to life like multiple times.
at the same time, death in Dragon Ball is like,
It's not absolute.
it's like, I guess you're just up there. Okay, come back. Dragon Ball is dead.
Yep. And I think when he was around, what did he do? Fucking train his kids and fight with his kids all the time?
Because
and
he had
spar?
to. He had to.
Okay, did he have to? He was saving the world anyways. Yes, you can make the argument that like Gohan like started being more powerful to a certain degree at a certain point in it. But like, motherfucker, you didn't do shit. Like you didn't fucking cook, you didn't clean, you didn't teach him shit.
Man, Piccolo was the true dad.
Fucking fair.
Piccolo's
honestly.
the goat, man.
I don't think I'm surprised Goku even knew what sex was.
Yeah, that's the
And
funny
that's
thing.
a whole bit.
That's the funny thing. In Dragon Ball Super, he's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how kids are made. Bro, what? You have
Yeah.
like two.
You have fucking kids. Like, what do you mean?
I think they did like such a bad job in Super. They made Goku so stupid in Super.
Goku was stupid the whole time.
No, but like he was.
What do you mean?
He was intelligent to a degree in like Dragon Ball and Z, but in Super they actually made him like brain trauma damaged.
Wait, what do you fucking mean that he was smart to a certain degree in Dragon Ball? When he was a kid, he was like the stupidest motherfucker around.
You wouldn't get it, would you?
What the
No,
fuck?
in Z, dude, he had some intelligence. He's like, oh shit, like this guy's bad. I need to lock in. But in Super, he's like, duh. Okay, I'm just gonna freaking attack this like super strong guy and like get his
Sure.
whole entire universe to hate on us.
I mean, Yeah, but they were also in a fucking tournament for
This is like before that.
This
man.
is okay, I thought you were talking about like during the tournament.
No, man, no. There's just some questionable character choices he made
Okay.
in Super.
I
That
mean-
for some reason they decided to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if we're talking about Goku's character, there's a lot of different fucking flaws with him.
Yeah.
This is specifically about him being a bad
Yeah.
father.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Him
Uh,
being a dad. Yeah.
he can be stupid,
Yeah, he
but-
sucks being a dad too.
Yeah, he
right?
sucks being a dad. Now, I will pause that and then throw the question to you. Who was a better father, Vegeta or Goku?
Dude, Vegeta, man.
For sure Vegeta, right?
Yeah.
But, like, was he? Because we also have the Majin Vegeta area, and we also have Vegeta basically just telling Trunks that he's like, yeah, you fucking weak piece of shit. Like, fucking figure it out in, like, the fucking, the gravity chamber and shit.
True.
So, was he a better father?
I think Majin Vegeta gets a pass.
I mean, he did sacrifice himself.
Dude had
yeah.
his evil amplified. Okay.
He did. But that tells me that there's a lot of evil in him in the first place.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
the thing is with Trunks, you see how future Trunks turned out. He turned out pretty good.
That's true.
He turned out pretty good.
I mean, Ultimate Gohan turned out pretty good too.
Yeah, but that's without Goku.
So without his father, he turned out good.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think we can agree Goku was a bad father. I don't
Yeah.
think there's much argument there. All right, this one is for you because you have been on this train recently, from the Dual Blade episode to anime that we like episode. Sword Art Online wasn't that bad. And remember, the anime community gatekeeps. So if you say you like it, you're not an anime fan.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed Sword Art Online.
I enjoyed it.
when I first watched it,
Yeah.
and then like it just got shat on afterwards. Like afterwards, I'm like, yeah, it wasn't as good as I thought it was, but at the same time, I still like it. I still liked it.
I don't know if my rewatchability is there. Like, I wouldn't go back to it as a staple of my,
Yeah,
collection.
you'd be like, oh boy, I can't wait to rewatch Sword Art
Exactly.
Online.
But I think more people need to just enjoy things for what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is not that bad. Like,
Yeah, I think what Sword Art Online did was it basically like created the isekai genre boom, right? Did it not?
yeah, the boom for sure. Obviously, it didn't create the genre. There were other ones that came out that like were isekai.
Yeah, but like after that, it's like isekai left.
Everything was an
isekai,
isekai,
right? You know,
100%.
it's crazy. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think it wasn't.
I didn't like Alfheim as
bad.
much. Gun Gil was okay.
Well, it got to be a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason that I liked the movie is because they started doing augmented reality. So it was almost like the Pokemon Go trend.
Oh shit, they're actually fighting in real life.
So they're fighting in real life.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So the movie was
Damn.
actually kind of interesting that way.
So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. No, actually. It's just like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh shit, that's so cool.
So it was cool. And I think the sound editing on the movie was probably my favorite sound editing of any.
Do you watch the movie
Full
after
thing.
Mother's Rosario? Like
Mhm.
after that? That's what.
Yeah. And the movie's canon too.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's
nice.
between Mother's Rosario and season 3, which is Alicization, I think. Anyways,
Maybe I should get on this SAO train.
it's pretty good.
Like I'll watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think Sword Art Online's that bad. I think people love to hate on it because it did start the isekai boom.
Because they're so big.
Mhm.
That's easy to hate.
And I think that it was a harem anime. Unfortunately, I think that's a point against it for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now
I
that I think about it, yeah.
There's fan service, which is another point against for some people. But for a lot of people, it wasn't even fan servicey enough. They were like,
Oh.
give me more. And I'm like, you can't please everyone.
Gooner.
You fucking gooners.
Gooner.
So I think the idea was really cool. I think the plot could have been better. I think that, the developer is in the game and he was the final boss. Like, okay, that's so cliche. I think Kirito even says like, wow, that's kind of cliche. They
True.
knew. But I think going into the science of a full VR rig and all these different things, that's cool. I like that. That's a cool idea.
That's true, yeah.
So, yeah, I would make the argument it's not that bad.
No, I agree.
It's not the best.
I
anime
agree with
ever,
this opinion.
so it's not that bad. All right, this one's angering for the nostalgia regions.
Oh, how?
Bleach was carried by style, not substance.
Style.
Yeah. just I'm in that camp. I think it was carried by substance through the Soul Society arc.
Yeah, I would say so. When you really think about it, substance wise, protagonist gets powers. Protag gets a friend stolen, kidnapped, needs to get them back, fights a society. Same thing again happened. Rancor arc, friend gets kidnapped, let's get them back. And then they had the Fullbring arc, which is like, bro, what the fuck, man? This shit's dog ass.
But you described shonen anime.
True.
You just described shonen. Like,
yeah, but it's like at Bear's level, it's just a repeat.
100%. It's very repetitive. I think after the Soul Society, and we don't talk about the Bound arc, as we said, it became a style show.
Yeah, I would say like the animation, the characters are slick. They're pretty good.
They look good, and again, the style's there, and that's great, and that's phenomenal, and I love that. I think as soon as we started going and hitting Spanish for some reason, it became very style-based. Like, do we really need Las Noches and fucking...
I thought it was pretty cool too.
Why was it cool though? Because it was stylistically cool.
Because the villain just became all Spanish.
Yeah, and they all fucking had the like Latin guitar music come in every time there was a fight.
And then the final villains in the final arc, they're German.
Yeah, they are.
Goddamn German.
Yeah. What, Halle Bell, Stark, and Wunderweiss.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I think at that point it became just a style show because, like we said, the story was repetitive. It was the same thing.
True, and also like Ichigo as a character too. Like, you don't really do much with him. I'd say
Ichigo is like the Dominic Toretto of anime. He's just like, here's my family.
I
will protect.
I fight for my friends and family.
I fight for my family. Salumi familia.
Yeah,
they even
exactly.
went to Spain and did the Spanish thing.
Yeah,
like, it's just the Dominic Toretto.
And also the thing is with most shonen protags is that like, shit, this guy's got everything inside of him. He can do anything.
He can do anything. He's got unlimited potential.
I don't want to spoil anything, but dude, this guy's human. This guy's hollow. This guy's Soul Reaper. This guy's Fullbring. This guy's Quincy.
Yeah,
bro, what the hell, man?
He's fucking every race. He is the melting pot. So yeah, I would say that Bleach was carried by style.
Yeah.
I think Soul Society was substance. Everything else was
man.
style.
Soul Society was goated, man.
Zenbon Sakura.
I feel like they could have done more with Soul Society.
Yeah, but
they could have expanded on more captains and shit. But then for what it was, goddamn,
I think
awesome.
the Soul Society arc was like over 100 episodes, though, wasn't it?
Was it? Felt shorter than that.
Where would you say the Soul Society arc began?
When they entered Soul Society.
Okay, I would justify that it like. I think it would happen a little bit before that. Not episode 1, but I do think that the Soul Society arc was... There was lead up to it.
Okay.
I guess you could make that
as
the end of the
Ruger gets kidnapped. Is that the start of Soul Society?
I would probably say that, because that's when the influence of the Soul Society is like coming through. Right? So I think that's probably at least a few episodes as well.
Fair enough.
I guess
for me, I thought that was just like, oh shit, train. And then you enter Soul Society.
Okay, like a training arc before. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, I think the Soul Society arc was the peak for sure. All right, next up, we got one of our favorites. Code Geass is actually a bad anime, and people justify it as being good just for a couple moments.
Disagree.
All right, convince me. What do you disagree with?
Code Geass was a great anime all in all. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it built up a power system and it played within its limits too. And it caused the main character to think of ways to circumvent everything using those powers and his intelligence, given the scenario and the problems he faced.
Okay.
And establish like the whole big world building aspect of it too. So I think it was just a great anime. There were some questionable things, yes, but overall, great.
Was it not just repetitive, where he just outthinks the opponent every single time, and he's just like plot armor is my brain's too big?
Well, at the same time, that's like a lot of like anime where the shows are like, oh yeah, I overcame you through strength, overcame you through intelligence.
Of course.
But I think it was done in a good manner.
Okay. All right. I would agree with you. And I just wanted to get your take on it, because my opinion is that it's actually flipped. I think that Code Geass in general is a good anime, like you said.
Yep.
And people justify it being bad through a few really bad moments. Shirley, we've talked about it before.
Nah, man.
Shut the fuck up.
Nah, man. Shirley deserved it.
Shirley, Yuffie, and
that Yuffie scene was great, man.
Okay, Yuffie and Rolo. I think those three people really justify hating on Code Geass because they hate those moments, and I agree with you. Those moments are fucking shit.
Yeah.
And
hey, what about the science girl?
Also kind of shit. Yeah, like you know what I mean? But those are very few moments. I can't even count 6 moments there. That's only 4.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 if we can come up with another one of like, wow, that was like really bad. I didn't really enjoy that, right? But I don't think that's enough to justify saying, oh, it's a bad anime. So I think the argument that like it was a bad anime with a few good moments that justify it being good to people is actually flipped. I think it was a good anime that a few moments justify to a lot of people that is bad.
Fair.
That would be my take on it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that, but I do disagree with the opinion there.
Yeah, with the premise here. All right.
It's good. It's a good time. Watch Code Geass.
Jujutsu Kaisen relies too much on shock deaths.
Shock deaths. Who really died in that? Well, I guess like a lot of people did.
A lot of fucking people did. Yep.
No, I don't. Well, just the anime. I haven't read the manga.
I haven't read the manga either. Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. What shock deaths are coming to mind for you?
Well, I would disagree with the opinion. So there weren't really many. Wait. Sorry, what was the question again? They relied too much on shock deaths.
Yeah, they rely too heavily on shock deaths.
It's
like, oh no,
it's like, oh shit, this person
to die.
Ooh,
You know. The first one that comes to mind is the one that everybody thirsted after that chokes people. Nanami? Is that what it is?
No, well, I'm going from sequential order. The first one was that jellyfish guy.
The jellyfish guy. Why am I blanking on that?
So it's like in his first fight with Makio. No, what's this guy? The guy who can like transform his body and everything.
Yeah, I think Makio or something like that.
Yeah. So that guy was basically warped that kid who like murdered everybody in the movie theaters.
Yes. The movie theater.
Yeah, that guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But he had a jellyfish power, and like you know what the animators did? They had him in like the ending credits, where he joined everybody as a student, but then they freaking killed him off.
Interesting. Wait, they killed him off?
Yeah.
Fucking after joining?
No, he never joined.
Oh my god.
So they drew him as like a student joining the crew.
Yeah.
But then in the actual story, he just died.
He just fucking died. He got.
I need to know this guy's name.
Yeah, I'm checking the name for you.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah.
He had the one eye covered.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like
I think that was a good shock death because I was like, dude, I was led to believe this guy joined the squad, but then they just killed him. I was like, oh god, oh my god.
Yeah, I think the only one that stands out is like I said, like what's his name?
Nanami. Yeah.
I think that's the only one that really stands out to me as a shock death. Everyone else, I kind of either saw coming or didn't really care about.
Did you expect Nobara, the girl, to die?
I mean, do we know that she's dead?
Yes.
How do we know that she's dead?
Do you know spoilers? Because I thought she was dead.
I don't know if she's dead. I think it's like Fast and Furious style, where are they actually dead?
Dude, she got like a hole in her face.
Yeah, I know she did. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if she's dead.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I think Nobara, that scene
Okay, yeah.
when the guy just like touches her eye, I think
Yeah.
that was a pretty bad one. But
Okay.
Nanami, I think, was well deserved. I think that was a good death.
I think Nanami was a good death. I think it did shock a lot of people.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, he actually. Because at first I was like, dude, it's gonna be all right. He's gonna be fine. And then I'm like, wait, it's not good.
No,
It's not fine.
No, I feel.
I was so sad.
What? Oh,
He did his character justice though.
Oh man, JJK Maki Zenin is the one of the heroes. I'm trying to figure out this person's name, and I just can't figure it out.
I got you. I got you. Just look up JJK jellyfish.
Jellyfish. All right, jellyfish guy.
Jellyfish. Is that the search?
Yeah.
No one knows his name.
Oh yeah, Junpei.
Junpei. Yeah.
Junpei Yoshino.
What's the antagonist name?
Mahito.
Mahito. Mahito.
Mahito. Yeah.
Mojito.
Junpei, yeah, fuck Junpei, dude. I didn't give a shit about him. I didn't even.
You forgot about him.
I fucking forgot about him until I saw a picture of him. I was like, oh, it's this emo fucking kid. No, dude. I didn't give a shit that he died. I didn't care at all.
I was just shocked that he died because I was under the impression that he was going to be joined as a student.
No, I was like very happy that
Damn.
he wasn't around anymore.
Damn, man.
I think, yeah, it's just. Oh, I guess we're thinking of just heroes though. What was the volcano curse's name? The one who died to Skuna.
Jogo.
Jogo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was an interesting death.
Yeah.
That was a shock death to me because he was kind of built to be the antagonist for a while.
Yeah, and to be honest, the guy was that guy's like actually super strong. It's just unfortunate every scene that he's been in.
Yeah.
He's fighting the strongest.
He's getting dogged on.
He's getting dogged on, but he's fighting the strongest people ever.
Yeah. I think
So sad.
I think that would be my number 2 shock death over like after Nanami.
Oh, but what about the tree? Hanabi.
Yeah.
That person just died right away to Gojo.
I expected that death more than I expected Jogo.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I think a lot of the statement of shock deaths is so weird to me because the only one that really was shocking was Nanami. Beyond that, I was kind of expecting half of these.
Also, because like they're villains, so you expect them to lose, right?
True, which is why I didn't expect Jogo to die when he did. And beyond that, though, fuck Junpei. Just straight up and outright. I also don't think Nobara
Yeah.
is dead. I'll bet money that Nobara is not dead in some form.
Damn. Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
because she's like the main 3, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying she won't die. I'm just saying that she's not dead right now from the anime perspective. And then, yeah, that's it. Those are the only deaths I actually like care to remember about. Maybe the fucking Blood Brothers. I didn't even care.
Yeah, whatever.
Like whatever.
They're just the villain of the week.
Yeah, they were just vibes. Like whatever. They hung out. They stank. They were rotting.
Yeah.
So,
That's fair.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I think JJK was carried by a lot of other things. I don't think it relied too heavily on shock deaths.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, we got time for 2 more. Number 1, we'll go to a specific, and then the final one will be a general, which will reference back to JJK. But for the specific, I disagree heavily with the statement that is, One Punch is too repetitive, boring, and unfunny.
One Punch Man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Definitely does follow formula, but the way
Yeah.
it does the formula is good.
I think that it is definitely funny. I think it is definitely repetitive.
Yep. But it's carried by like the story and the basically the minor characters, the supporting characters.
Of course. I don't think it's it's about Saitama, but it's not about Saitama.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is if you're just focusing on the one character of I'm so strong and I can punch anything and then they die, it's fucking boring. But you got to focus on the other things. You got to focus on the little things, the little characters that are around.
One Punch Man season 1 was like goated. It's so good. But the problem is they made season 2 like years later, and it wasn't as good, unfortunately.
But I think a lot of anime fall into that problem. So I don't think that's a Punch Man specific problem. I do think it was funny. I think it was enjoyable.
I definitely agree. One Punch Man is great, but at the same time, its comedy is more like flip the script. It's like you expect one.
Satire,
you expect one thing and then boom, it just ends. Yeah.
It's the Konosuba effect. It is just a satire, and because of that, I think, as we mentioned earlier, you have to just enjoy it for what it is. If you're looking for like, wow, so story driven and plot based and character progression, no, like that's not the point of the satire. Like we're not talking about that right now.
No, not at all.
So
One Punch Man is great.
I agree with you. Final question of the day. We've gone through a lot, but final hot take, and I think this one is like quite a contentious one.
Oh,
especially with JJK and Solo Leveling and a lot of the more popular anime in the past year or two, which is that animation quality is not important.
What?
I think that's the worst take.
What kind of opinion is this? No, it is so important, man.
I think that's the worst take. It's a visual medium. Like you need it to look good.
Are you gonna watch your shows in 240p?
Are you just get the audiobook then?
Yeah.
Like that is such a bad take.
No, definitely. At some points I think animation carries some stories.
And that's what I was saying with
Demon Slayer
and Bleach. Like I think that's where we got to a point where if you want to state animation quality doesn't matter for you, sure. You can make that and go ahead and listen to your audiobooks.
You can go ahead and live underneath your bridge, man.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I think the general population of the public, as well as specifically anime fans, would disagree with you.
Oh, definitely.
Animation carries. There's a reason that it's so hard to go watch old anime sometimes.
That's true, dude. When you see like an anime with like, good sakuga, like it just flows. Every scene is like pretty good. That's a good one. I think a good example for me is Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Each and every episode just looked clean.
Yeah.
There was no dip in between, like, like lesser episodes.
It was consistent.
It was just consistently good.
And I think it's so important nowadays with the way that animation's going to, one, garner a new audience, because you're going to get a new audience from having better animation.
Yep.
If I tell you this amazing story, but it looks like shit, chances are new people aren't going to watch it. And again, you can perfectly be happy saying animation quality doesn't matter for you, but you're wrong.
But the problem about that is, like, as the industry becomes better and better at animation quality, just shows that don't have enough budget and don't look as good, you're going to be like, that's kind of trash, man.
It does fall short for certain ones.
Yeah.
But then becomes the subjective of what animation looks good. We talked about it before, but Dan Da Dan was like a hard first episode to get used to because the animation style is so different.
But phenomenal.
But good when you get used to it.
Yep.
So same thing with non-traditional anime like Arcane or even Edge Runners.
Yeah.
Those ones are not your traditional animation styles. And I still think they're phenomenal. The quality of their animation does matter. It's still good. It's still high quality. It's just different.
That's true.
So I think that's a fucking blasphemous take and the worst take of the day.
Nope. It's literally in its name, animation.
Yeah.
Anime. Come on, man.
Yeah. Figure it out. Figure out your hot take, okay? Figure it out. But yeah, I think that'll be it for us with this hot take episode.
Yes, sir.
If you have any that you have hot takes that you want to let us discuss and rip apart or agree with, depending on if it's good, let us know down in the comments below.
Like and subscribe, please.
Like and subscribe. PewDiePie says that he got so big because he always reminds people to subscribe. So maybe we should do that.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Let us know down below your hot takes, and we will catch you on the next episode of Bros Park. Peace.